We all know those GLP-1 injections work wonders, but that price tag almost gave me a heart attack when my insurance denied coverage. I was staring at a choice between paying my mortgage or paying for weight loss. Talk about a rock and a hard place. Then I found Elevate Health compounded semaglutide at just $58 with payment plans that don't require a second mortgage. Same medication, same results, but a price that real folks can actually afford. Visit joinelevate.com today. That's JOINELEVATE.com. Your wallet will be as happy as your waistline. This medication is not FDA approved.
Hello, my name is Kevin Tudor, and I'm one of the 3 hosts of Almost Major, a film podcast dissecting many major indie studios and the films they release. Every week, myself, Charlie Nash, and Bryden Doyle discuss overlooked, forgotten, or bona fide classic indie films via studio-specific miniseries. We've previously covered numerous films from Artisan Entertainment, Lionsgate Films, and New Line Cinema. Titles including The Blair Witch Project, American Psycho, Dogville, But I'm a Cheerleader, Saw, Requiem for a Dream, and Ringmaster, you know, the Jerry Springer film. Anyways, we have a fun time every week and we hope you will join us. Subscribe to Almost Major wherever you get your podcasts. Now proudly a part of the Someone's Favorite Productions Podcast Network.
I'm Editor-in-Chief of Culture Shock, Chris Stachiw.
Oh, yeah, and I'm John Lein.
Oh, come on, John.
I was looking up a quote for a theme thing, and I got distracted.
That's 2 weeks in a row now. Last week it was,
I guess
super depressing, John.
Shut that cunt's mouth, or I'll come over there and fuck start her head.
Oh, gosh. And we are joined by Sean Liang, who, if you've listened to us in the past, you'll know he is from To Survive. And he has been on 3?
Yeah, this is the 3rd one.
Yeah. This one's not going to be nearly as long as last month's. Fucking 4-hour Jurassic Park extravaganza.
It was a beast. It was good.
Yeah. But as we are in the middle of Western Month, I guess we're coming to the tail end of it. We're going to be talking about The Way of the Gun and The Good, the Bad, and the Weird. And John spoke with Kristin Lehman from The Way of the Gun, so we'll play that interview here in a little bit. But let's get right to it with The Way of the Gun. Came out in 2000, written by Christopher McQuarrie, who wrote The Usual Suspects. He's also currently directing the new Mission Impossible Rogue Nation film. Stars Ryan Phillippe, Benicio del Toro, Juliette Lewis, the aforementioned Kristin Lehman, also has Taye Diggs and James Caan. And it follows Ryan Phillippe and Benicio del Toro as they capture a surrogate mother from a relatively rich family and hold her hostage in hopes to be paid a ransom. And
is it Philippe or Felipe?
I don't know.
I always said Felipe. I was just wondering the same thing.
I don't know, because, you know what? I haven't seen him in enough stuff, really, to know. Well, and then on top of it, after watching him in this movie, I really don't want to see him in anything.
Oh my god! I totally agree. I think if you're attracted to him, you call him Felipe, and then if you're not attracted to him, it's Philippe.
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
So,
all right, well, Felipe it is.
Wow. So, Sean, what did you think of the movie?
Oh my god. Okay, well, I told you guys already. I had to major Wikipedia this movie because when I sat down to watch this, I did not realize I was about to watch a Christopher McQuarrie movie. And now that you mentioned that he did Usual Suspects, it totally makes sense because I was completely lost throughout the whole thing. I felt stupid. But overall, it was fun because at least there was enough action and blood to keep me interested.
Man, I'm glad you were kept interested. What about you, John?
I really like this movie.
But then again, you liked every movie this month since you suggested everything.
I got to pick them all because
I know. Except for the stuff that you're watching that you haven't seen.
Right, because I wanted to watch westerns that I hadn't watched before.
Like Dirty Dingus McGee.
Right, that's next week.
Yeah.
God, I'm so glad.
But no, I don't know. I really like Way of the Gun. I like the soundtrack. I like the plot. I probably had to watch it twice before I picked up on everything. And even this time when I watched it, there were a few little subtle things that I picked up on that I didn't notice the first couple times. But I think it's a plot that, I don't know. I felt like it was comprehensible. Is that a word?
Comprehensible?
Comprehensible?
You could comprehend it?
Yeah. I was able to comprehend the plot of the film. And I really like the action. I like how sort of crisp their gunfights are. And I like that there's not a whole lot of dialogue. You don't spend a whole lot of time listening to people give exposition dumps, which might be why it's confusing, but...
Okay. I'm just going to say this here. After watching the movie, I really was curious as to why we watched it for Western Month.
I had the same
And
question,
I
actually.
don't get that at all.
Because it's just, I don't know how you felt about that, Sean, since you and I are in agreement, but when you explained to me that this is a neo-noir Western, John, it doesn't even hit upon the notes of a Western. Where's the railroad company that's trying to force everybody out of town?
Well, that's not every Western.
I'm kidding, but come on, like half of the movies we watched this month have had evil railroad tycoons as the bad guys.
I think there's some sort of parallels to draw. I did, because I was thinking the same thing while I was watching it. I'm like, there were some elements that made it feel like a Western, in the sense that there are these two kind of like, almost, maybe not petty criminals, but they're definitely two like nobody guys, and they find themselves mixed up in this huge scheme. I don't know. That kind of felt to me a little reminiscent of a Western to me. I don't know. What do you think?
To me, it just felt like a Guy Ritchie movie made by an American.
Oh, I don't know.
Do you love movies? So do I. What's up, y'all? It's KB, and I love movies. Inviting you to listen to The Conversation, a film podcast where passion meets perspective and opinion. From the old school to the new, I invite a guest on to discuss the movies that thrill us, challenge us, break our hearts, or even blow our minds. There's always new episodes dropping wherever you get your podcasts. So join the conversation. We don't just watch movies. We love talking about them too. The Conversation with KB Loves Movies, a part of Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
It's not bad.
Come on.
Guy Ritchie has a lot more dialogue.
Okay, so it's a Guy Ritchie movie with less dialogue. That's what it felt like. It just felt like a crime thriller, and I really was curious, except for the fact that the end of the movie takes place in this Mexican brothel just south of the border.
Yeah. Like
everything else just felt like it was just going through the motions, and it was pretty rote. It had some kind of philosophical stuff thrown in for good measure, like that whole thing where they're talking about how they're playing hearts, and that's kind of a whole parallel to the movie's overarching plot. Other than that, it was just kind of a run-of-the-mill movie, and I was expecting more from when you explained it to me before I watched it, John.
It's definitely not a straight-up Western, but I totally do think it's a neo-noir, neo-Western hybrid made in 2000. The characters, like Sean said, are drifters, and they're sort of going to task against this wealthy guy and his sort of gang members. And then they use a lot of, there's no fancy fucking machine guns. There's like a shotguns, rifles, and pistols, so they're not too super, modern techie. The locations are very out there, deserted, small, lonely places. The soundtrack, the little that thing, that is literally pulled from the soundtrack for another Western called The Professionals that's really awesome. Parker and Longbaugh, which are Ryan Phillippe and Benicio del Toro's character names, are the real last names of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. The set for the final shootout is the same set piece that the climax of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, the movie, is shot on. I don't know. Whenever I watch it, it's definitely not just a Western. Because it also has the sort of color tones and lighting and the sort of crime plot of a noir film. But, I don't know, I get a pretty heavy Western noir crime hybrid feel when I watch this movie. And, you know, we picked it specifically because it wasn't a standard Western so that we could pair it with The Good, the Bad, and the Weird.
Right.
So, I mean...
Which is pretty much a standard Western.
Well,
yeah, I mean, more so than this is.
Well, right, but they're like genre combos. Good, the Bad, and the Weird also throws in some like sort of Asian cinema fighting style.
Yeah, but I still think at the end of the day, it's still a Western.
Well, yeah,
it is still a Western in pure definition.
Yeah, like it has those Western tropes.
Yeah,
right. It's definitely closer than Way of the Gun, but I also really wanted to watch Way of the Gun.
I mean, I think there is an argument. I mean, it's like the whole philosophy. I think that's probably the closest tie-in to, like, I mean, The Way of the Gun, for example, sounds like such a Western philosophy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what I think personally is I think that they were trying for what you were talking about, John. They tried for it.
Well, they got it.
I don't think
as far as I'm concerned.
I don't think that what they were attempting to execute came through on screen.
Well,
I just don't think it did. I mean, and this doesn't make it a bad movie. I just think as far as we're talking about Western type films and films that have Western themes and are influenced by Westerns, I don't think that this movie hits on the notes that I was expecting it to going in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how you were expecting it, because I'd seen it before and it feels Western-y to me. So I don't know what.
Again, the fact that there was no railroad tycoon just absolutely irked me.
It's not allowed.
I know, right? But I mean, you know, kind of getting away from whether or not it's a Western, there are some parts of this movie I enjoyed.
Some really awesome parts.
I mean,
like that car chase that wasn't really like high speed.
Yeah, they like walk the car.
That and the end of the movie. But I mean, a lot of the other stuff in the movie is them just these kind of paper thin philosophical musings that come off as just filler more than actual interesting dialogue. For me at least. Again.
I mean, the initial script of the film had Benicio del Toro's character talking a lot more, and I don't know what exactly was the sort of stuff he was saying, but they ended up making it less dialogue heavy because they liked the sort of tone and feel of it, and I think that was a good choice. But, I mean, it feels very sparse.
Yeah, when, you know, there's enough talking from Ryan Phillippe to last the both of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Whatever voice he's trying to do in this movie,
yeah,
is just, it's so grating.
Is that not his normal voice?
I
it can't be.
Voice.
I don't think so.
No way.
I don't know who he's trying to channel. He's trying to channel someone.
Some kind of like mobster almost.
Yeah, it felt kind of like Marlon Brando.
Yeah, that's sort of what I got too.
I can't imagine that that's actually Ryan Phillippe's real voice.
No, I've heard it sound different than that.
Yeah.
And it just felt more natural.
I don't know.
This felt like watching Christian Bale doing the Batman voice and being like, that's not your real voice. So why, like... But at least in the Batman movies, it had a purpose. In this movie, he's just kind of doing this weird... I don't even know how to explain it, but...
It does feel unnatural.
Yeah, whenever he's talking, I'm just like, come on. It takes me out of the movie because of how just kind of grating it is.
Exactly. When he first started talking, I honestly thought it was a joke. I thought he was trying to sound like a gangster sort of guy. And then it didn't stop, and then I was like, oh, I see. Because Ryan Phillippe was in one of my favorite horror movies growing up. He was in I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I know for a fact that he doesn't sound like that in that movie, and he sounded a lot more believable, if you will, I guess, in that movie.
So it was totally sounded more like an actual human being.
Yeah. That did bother me throughout the movie, I have to say.
And does his voice not bother you, John?
No. I mean, it's weird, but it's not anything that like actively bothered me. I never really noticed it being any particularly good or bad.
Yeah, I mean, I wish, because I love Benicio del Toro as an actor. Pretty much everything he's been in I've enjoyed, and yes, that includes The Wolfman. The Wolfman is a terrible movie. But it's not terrible because he's in it. It's terrible because of a lot of other things. The fact that they remade The Wolfman and it has Anthony Hopkins, and Anthony Hopkins does nothing in it. And Anthony Hopkins is supposed to be Benicio del Toro's dad, which, don't even get me started how that's possible. I mean, Puerto Rican man is birthed from an English man, but okay, sure. So, this movie's just kind of there for me. And I wanted to like it because it's got, Benicio del Toro. It's got James Caan, who's been in, so many great things.
Yeah, the cast was really impressive when I saw the credits at the beginning.
Yeah. And you got Kristin Lehman eating shrimp in what could only be described as the most stomach-turning way. Did you get a chance to ask her about that? Did you ask her about that?
No, because I didn't. I mean, when I talked to her, when I watched the movie, I was like, oh, that's a little unsettling, but only because it's intentional because of her character.
Right.
And I didn't really think to ask, how did you figure out how you were going to eat shrimp? I mean, that's a weird question.
I mean, but to be fair, that's like one of the few things she actually does in this movie.
Yeah.
It's like one of her main scenes in the movie is eating shrimp.
Yeah, but
that's in a revealing scene. It's a really important.
And you're right. It does really create a more off-putting sense of character for her character, right?
Right. And she's, it's generally whenever people eat food in movies, it's to show that they're sort of putting things in motion, making plays, sort of controlling the I don't know, plot series of events.
Yeah.
Well, she's not just snacking; she's eating shrimp cocktail.
Oh yeah, God! Like off of like a silver platter.
Yeah.
It's not like that's like enough shrimp that you would put out for like a party.
And
she's just like chowing down.
And then she like makes out with Taye Diggs with shrimp in her mouth.
Exactly. It's all bunched up. Ooh.
This is like so just gross. Again, but that reinforces that her character is just totally a slime ball.
Yeah, totally.
Just like Scott Wilson's character, who plays Hale Chidduck.
Well, yeah, both the Chiddicks are a little.
Yeah.
Well, because she doesn't want to carry a child to term, so they find a surrogate because she just doesn't want to. Mm-hmm. Not because she can't, just because she doesn't want to.
Probably because he's really friggin' old.
Well, yeah, when I talked to her, we talked about how their whole relationship is clearly only for appearances for him.
Absolutely.
And so he wants a baby, and she kind of wants a baby too, but she doesn't really she doesn't want to carry a baby because that's not what that relationship is.
Exactly. Right. Plus, Taye Diggs is way more attractive than
Taye Diggs. Poor Taye Diggs. This is the second time we've seen Taye Diggs in a movie in 2 months, 3 months.
Really?
Because he was in Dylan Dog.
Uh-huh.
Was he really? I didn't know that.
He played like the main
vampire bad guy?
Well, I mean, bait and switch, right?
Well, right.
Right. But I haven't seen him in much of anything.
Daybreak.
Is he in Daybreak?
It's a TV show.
Oh, wow.
That only has 13 episodes, but it's awesome. Because it's essentially Cop Groundhog Day.
It's random. Well, and he's been in a lot of stuff. I mean, he was in Chicago. He was in
Equilibrium. Did you like the scene in Way of the Gun where they're like donating sperm? And they're like, "Why are you a qualified donor? I've never killed anyone." I didn't ask that. You should.
That was one of the better scenes of the movie for me, because it showed off that Christopher McQuarrie can write interesting dialogue. And I wish that there had been more dialogue in the movie.
Mm.
A lot of the characters were just their motivations were not very well explained. And the payoff of the movie is in like the last 5 minutes. We're like, it was they're together, she's your daughter, it's your baby.
I mean, again, the movie is really subtle. And so I think if you watched it again, knowing the sort of twist, you like paid attention to the eyes of the actors and the facial features and that sort of stuff, I think you would pick up on a lot of stuff that you missed because you didn't know that's
context.
What you were looking for. Right.
Yeah, I did. I have to be honest, after I read the synopsis, as I was reading it, I was like, wow, okay. it's so funny how simple it was, but I missed it. You know what I mean? Like, like you said, it's the minimal dialogue. It really does. It's so subtle that I missed out on a lot of things that were so simple.
Mm-hmm.
But reading the synopsis alone just was helpful.
Right. And that's another reason why I like this movie, because a lot of movies I can watch once and, get everything and remember it for fucking years. I think I can still probably sing the entire opera song from that one episode of Futurama where Fry gets the devil's robot hands because I'm insane like that. Whereas Way of the Gun, I've watched it probably 4 or 5 times, and every time I pick up on another little, eye movement that sort of says something. Almost every motion of every actor is planned out and says something about their motives and what they're trying to do and what they're planning and that kind of thing. And I don't know, I find that really interesting.
Yeah. Again, this movie just wasn't what I was expecting, and in the grand scope of the movies we've watched this month, pretty much every movie we've watched this month has been really good.
You're welcome.
Except for this one. Thank you for that. And again, it's not the performances. It is purely the writing that I have a problem with this movie. Because Christopher McQuarrie, because of The Usual Suspects, which the movie's okay. I think some people think that movie's twist is amazing. I'm not convinced that movie's twist is as amazing as a lot of people think it is.
I like it, but I'm also not, raving about it, so.
Right.
I really like Edge of Tomorrow, but I don't think he wrote that one. Oh, well, yeah, he did. He did write that one.
But it was an adaptation.
Right.
It was not a wholly original idea like Usual Suspects or this movie. I'm not convinced that Christopher McQuarrie is as good at writing as he thinks he is.
Well, I don't know how good he thinks he is either.
Well,
I don't know if I've ever
I think that from this movie, like you said, there's a lot of subtlety to this movie, and there's a lot of stuff that isn't said. You kind of have to infer it yourself, which I'm fine with. But I think that detracts from this movie to some extent.
Yeah, it did feel. I'll say, looking back, because I didn't know that he did Usual Suspects until today, until after I saw it, and it feels sort of like after the success of, or just the reception of Usual Suspects, it's almost like he tried to match it and complicated something that was so simple, and that's why I think that's maybe why I didn't understand it, and that's where I lost my interest. It's just there was only so much shooting and blood that would keep me interested. You know what I mean? And I liked that. I like that stuff. But I did miss a lot of things that were so important and so simple,
Mm-hmm.
It just felt overcomplicated.
And to be fair, this movie has a really strong opening.
Right.
Yeah, and then it just kind of putters along until the end where it closes strong.
Yeah.
I disagree, but.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know you do because you suggested it, this movie.
I know.
I mean, the intro opens with them, beating the shit out of Sarah Silverman's character.
Uh-huh.
And the film ends with them getting, gunned down by James Caan.
Yeah, it was dark.
But everything else in between then is just them kind of staring at Juliette Lewis and Juliette Lewis asking if she can eat half of a sandwich. And Kristin Lehman eating shrimp disgustingly.
Oh, the food in this movie. The gas station bacon.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
And they make a point about, it's good. It's from a gas station.
Yeah. I kind of love that, though, because I love that about her character. I feel like I grew up with her.
So, again, not the performances for me, just Christopher McQuarrie's writing just doesn't... It just doesn't do it for me. At least not in this movie.
Yeah, I think that's what kept me from liking some of the characters even more. If I had understood Taye Diggs' motives throughout the whole movie, I think I would have liked his character a lot more.
And you get that one scene where he's kissing Kristin Lehman, and that's it.
That's the one stray from his job that you
shot
get to
in the fucking jaw and dies.
Right in the throat. Slowly too. You see
and I guess you're supposed to feel sorry for him?
No.
That's what I mean. I feel like I don't know.
Really, John? The way that they frame that scene, you almost are supposed to feel sorry for him.
Well, he's totally a pawn.
Yeah.
But then my impression was that he was going to make a move to steal all the money anyway and not go back to Francesca.
I didn't get that at all. And again, that's because this movie has no, there's something to be said for being subtle, but there's also something to be said for being so subtle that everything is left open to interpretation.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
Like,
I
John,
don't know.
really,
Again, I
Vision
really-
didn't make Ultron just poof into non-existence. Yeah, that's right. I went there. Oh, man. I get being subtle, but I think that this movie just goes too far with the subtlety. And that
I
hurts
want to
it.
watch it again. Like, I totally want to watch it again and see how I feel.
And I
'Cause,
think
you know,
that's...
I did just...
Hmm?
What was it? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think that's a good idea. I think a second viewing, you'll probably appreciate a lot of the, like, not the blocking, I guess, more.
Look at you using your movie terms.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the right term for... I don't know if eye movements count as blocking.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, okay. I'm definitely interested, yeah, because I think I can appreciate watching the actors, because the actors are so good, and I just know the whole time I felt like they knew something I didn't, and that was the problem, and like you said, it wasn't the performances.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it was just a script. And I honestly, I mean, I would like to watch it again, but to be perfectly honest, that's not going to happen anytime soon. I just don't think I'll watch it again just because, I mean, there's just so much other stuff to watch.
Well, that's true. We do have a lot of stuff.
Right? Like, that is unfortunately the inevitability of this movie is great if you watch it a second time. You had my attention for 2 hours. I don't know if you'll be able to keep it for an additional 2. Because this movie is 2 hours long, and it dragged at 2 hours.
Yeah.
Sitting down and watching it again, that's 4 hours spent watching this movie. I don't know if you'll be able to keep my attention for the next 2 hours.
I don't know. I'll probably watch it again within the year.
Well, that could be any time between now and next July.
Well, yeah, it could. But do you think you're going to watch it again in a year?
I don't know. If I get bored, I might.
Do you watch any movies like twice a year if you don't have to?
Depends. There's some stuff I have watched yearly. I think I've seen all the Indiana Jones movies at least once a year.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Star Wars in forever.
So do you watch, is there any movie that you watch like once every 3 months or something? Like a shorter time span?
I do. I have a few of those.
Really?
They're all horror movies. Yeah, my mom used to think I was... This is a true story. When I was little, I would watch The Lion King every day. And my mom, for a long time, was suspicious of... She thought I was autistic.
Something ain't right with that boy. He watches Lion King every day.
Every day. But I would watch that and, like, only that on repeat. So, like... You know, I think she had a reason, but...
How is that to a jump to he has autism?
My mom's a nurse, and she was like, I guess she was paranoid about that stuff, so she's like, you know, looking up behavioral, like, disorders and stuff. I was like, oh god. But, I think, I like watch Blair Witch every once in a while, like, honestly. But I oftentimes will watch movies for, like, just to, and, like, not really watch them, but, like, for the atmosphere while I work or something, you know what I mean? So I love stuff.
I think for me, John, if there's a movie I've watched with any sort of relative frequency, it's probably, like Sean said, I mean, probably Scream. I've watched Scream a fair amount of times. Like,
Me too.
I think I watch it like at least a couple times a year.
Me too.
So
I don't know if I have any movie that I watch more than like once a year, but I own like 1,500 DVDs.
look at
And
you go.
a bunch more on video on demand, so...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't... Maybe I think I watched Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog like 4 times in a year back when I was in the army.
Yeah, but that's not a movie.
Well, it's a 95-minute musical. It's a movie.
Is it really that long?
Yeah.
That's with Neil Patrick Harris, right?
Neil Patrick Harris and Nathan Fillion and
That's
Felicia
right.
Day and
Oh
all
man,
that
I
stuff.
feel like I would
And the
love
sequel is forthcoming. Just
Have you
kidding.
not seen? Well, the
Just-
sequel's
just
been
kidding.
forthcoming since the original came
I
out.
was gonna say the sequel's forthcoming. Just kidding.
Have you not seen it, Sean?
No, I have. I've seen like an episode. My cousins used to love it, but I feel like I would love it too, but I just never watched it.
Do you like musicals?
I love musicals.
So yeah, you'd probably really like it. And they did. Their DVD commentary is a musical.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's the best thing that Joss Whedon's ever done.
Oh my god, I didn't even know he did it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The NPH
He and
is-
like both of his brothers.
That's so cool.
And
That's-
his brothers play the Bad Horse Chorus singers.
That's so cool.
Yeah, the sequel is forthcoming. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Sometime in the next
The
century.
next time there's
Yeah,
a
right.
writer's strike.
Yeah, right? Well, Sean, skip it, watch it, and best performance.
Man, I will say this. I'm not mad that I watched it. There's some entertaining aspects. I would just say, if you're not ready to commit hardcore attention, skip it. But it's definitely not. It's definitely worth a watch if you can see it once. It's a commitment, y'all. You know, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
What about best performance?
Man, at first I hated him, but overall I loved Benicio. Is it Benicio or Benicio? Benicio del Toro. He was pretty cool.
And he's also one of 3 Oscar-winning Puerto Rican actors. So there you go. Just saying.
There's some good actors in this movie. So
yeah, except for Ryan Phillippe.
Yeah.
Again, and I've not seen him in anything. The only other thing I've ever seen him in is Crash.
I didn't even know he was in that.
That movie is, oh God. I did not, don't even get me started. That movie's not good. I guess he was in MacGruber. I totally forgot he was even in that movie. I guess he's been on TV or something. I haven't seen him in like anything.
Chaos? That's a really good one with Jason Statham and Wesley Snipes.
Oh.
I mean, he is just one of those actors that you kind of see every now and then.
What made him so popular?
I don't know if he's ever been popular.
No, he's definitely been popular.
Yeah, I remember like in the 90s.
I don't remember what it was that
Well, I mean, he was in I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, I just remember seeing him on MTV a lot too, which is, I don't know.
He's 40.
Man.
And he was married to Reese Witherspoon for the longest time.
That could have been it.
Yeah. So, what about you, John?
I'm going to say watch it, obviously. But like Sean said...
That should just be a foregone conclusion at this point.
Right. Like Sean said, I think you should probably make sure that if you're going to watch it, you're going to pay attention to it, because it definitely is a very subtle, sort of hidden movie.
Hidden. There's a lot of parts that are hidden away.
But, you know, there's a bunch of scenes I really like. The final shootout, the car chase, the shootout in that little motel town. I think a lot of the interaction between Benicio del Toro and Ryan Phillippe is really good. I think Scott Wilson and Kristin Lehman are pretty good, sort of rich, affluent sleazeballs. I like James Caan's character a lot, Joe Sarno, and his little, like, gang of old guys.
Gang of bagmen.
One of whom, Jeffrey Lewis, plays Russian roulette, puts a bullet in one revolver. No, puts one bullet in 4 different revolvers, puts the revolvers in a bag, spins the bag, draws out one revolver at random, and shoots it at himself.
Oh,
yeah.
It's like a dude thing.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And it's also the only movie Sarah Silverman's in where I like her performance.
You haven't seen Wreck-It Ralph? She was in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like Sarah Silverman, even in Wreck-It Ralph. I don't really like her voice.
Wait. Have you seen Bob's Burgers?
Yeah,
Yes.
She's pretty awesome in Bob's Burgers.
Who is she in that one?
She plays one of the twins, Ollie and Andy.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
With her sister.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's, like, intentional is the thing, though.
Well,
like,
I mean...
intentionally grating, so it's a good casting.
Yeah, it's true.
Best performance, I'm going to go with James Caan. I really like the performance from a lot of the people in this movie. Taye Diggs and Nicky Katt are both really good. Benicio I don't know. Everybody in this movie is really good. But I think I got to give best performance to James Caan.
He's still looking pretty buff for an old dude in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie was made almost 20 years ago. 15 now, so.
I like his verbal mannerisms, too. The whole, like, adjudicate thing.
He's just, I mean, he adds some gravitas to the film because of his kind of star power. I think, at least I feel like that's the case.
Yeah,
so.
I liked him in that. He kind of grounded the movie a little bit.
For me, I'm going to say skip it, but that's only because I feel like a large majority of the people who watch this movie are just going to be like, I didn't understand what's going on. And if you want to, like Sean said, if you're willing to sit down and commit the time necessary to really watch and analyze and enjoy this movie, then by all means watch it. But I can assume that a large portion of people who sit down and watch movies are not going to.
Right.
It's painful truth.
Yeah. Best performance, I'm going to have to go with Jeffrey Lewis, who played Abner Mercer. He's a small part in the movie, but the part where he's shot and dying in the car, and James Caan is like, I'm here for you. And he's like, just leave.
Just leave, please.
I'd like to be alone.
Yeah. I mean, I really like that whole back and forth between him and James Caan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also he's Juliette Lewis's father, so there you go.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But, yeah, you know, I think that he's a small part in the movie, but like John said, the thing with the Russian roulette, and then when he starts dying in the car, he's definitely a character actor, but he's one that I always enjoy, so.
Yeah.
All right, so before we go to our interview with Kristin Lehman, something we've been doing the last couple weeks, looking at what Rotten Tomatoes says, giving that a little guess, and kind of talking about how that factors into what we thought about the movie. So, Sean and John, what do you think the Rotten Tomato meter says for The Way of the Gun?
Oh, am I not supposed to look?
Well, if you know, then you know. You're not supposed to look.
I didn't look at the rating, so that's good. Oh, jeez. I feel like, I honestly, just on our discussion, I feel like people wouldn't like it just because they wouldn't give it a chance.
So what do you think the tomato meter's at? What percentage?
I'm gonna say I'll say 60. 60%.
What about you, John?
You know, again, I really like the movie, but Rotten Tomatoes is usually a little too far lower than what I would say, so I'm going to go with 70%, and I want to say it's certified.
Ooh, sorry. 48%. Rotten. The Way of the
Is that
Gun
like-
has some good parts, but overall the movie is derivative, sloppy, and sluggish.
That's disappointing.
I have to agree with that sentiment, unfortunately. But it does have some good parts, so you can't completely discount it.
I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah. Man, John, you're erring on the high side recently.
No, I've been low the last two podcasts, I think.
Have you? Yeah, I guess you have. But then again, the last two have been like 98%.
Right.
So, you know, like when we talked about The Man with No Name, I think they were all like above 95.
Right.
Whoa.
I think it was 92, 94, and 96.
I think Good, Bad, and Ugly was 98.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah. So, like we said at the beginning of the Kulturecast, John spoke with Kristin Lehman, so we'll play that interview, and when we get back, we'll talk about the good, the bad, and the weird.
So, how did you get involved with that movie?
Well, you know, the same way that, you know, when an actor is starting out, the same way that you get all projects, you know, you get called in by the casting director and then you audition. And I had the real pleasure of auditioning for them soon after I moved to Los Angeles, and casting director was great. The project was great, so I read it and was thrilled to go in. And I remember the audition scene was the scene where Francesca's eating shrimp, and I went in and I had crunchy grapes. And so I was using the crunches to emphasize just how detestable she was. And I don't know if Chris McQuarrie will remember it, but I know that made an impact on him.
Mm-hmm.
I was just so excited to get that role. And then after I did the audition, I met with Chris and the producer Ken Koken in one of LA's Hollywood bars, and we ended up enjoying the evening at Cantor's Deli and hanging out, and they're just such fine people that I just couldn't believe my luck.
And what was it like to work with Chris McQuarrie as a director?
Marvelous. You know, he's spectacular and has become one of my longtime friends, and his directing is just as comprehensive and thoughtful and creative as his writing. He's you know, you just trust him. He's so, even just like his comprehension of the material and of the characters, and his wit and charm are always there. He's always even-tempered. You know, I haven't had the benefit of working with him on his, like, $1 trillion movies that he's currently doing, but I can't imagine that he's anything but the gentleman that he was then, you know.
And how did you, when you got the role, did you do anything specific to prepare for the role of Francesca?
Well, you know, it was around the time that one of the stars, Ryan Phillippe, his wife, was pregnant, and I sort of got extra time in Utah where we shot the movie in case he had to leave at the drop of a hat. So Scott Wilson, who played my husband, he and I had extra time to kind of go over how this May-December relationship might have evolved. I had the benefit of being part of all the cast read-throughs, obviously, to really see the caliber of the creative people I was making the movie with. And then I got to hang out and just be on set and really be a fly on the wall to a lot of the movie that Francesca's not a part of. So I felt really I really understood this movie from all different sides of the storytelling. I was really young, so I don't know that I brought any kind of maturity other than my joy to be there. But, you know, because it was how many years ago now? Like 16 years ago. So it feels crazy to be, you know. But I stayed really good friends with Dylan Kussman and Chris, and so I really felt steeped in the material. And, you know, before I got the role, I bought the screenplay from now defunct Screenwriting magazine. I bought the screenplay of Usual Suspects because I loved that movie so much. And in my desire to make art and that was also commercial and intriguing and exciting to me, I just couldn't believe my good fortune in working with this people that I admired so much. It was like a dream.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned that you worked with Scott Wilson to sort of make backstory for your characters. I was wondering, do you remember much of that? Because I'd be interested to know what the sort of...
Well, I don't know if Scott would remember. What's he shooting in Toronto? He's shooting something in Toronto now. But, yeah, we decided that, and again, I don't, you know, this is something we made up over dinner, but that Francesca, in fact, was a stripper at a club that he liked to frequent, and she was looking for a way out and wanted upward mobility, and that, you know, that the May-December aspect of their relationship suited them just fine. He was looking for a way to outwardly display his virility as he aged, and she was desperate to get out and wanted wealth. And so that, in fact, the desire for a child was his, that she was acquiescing to, but decided she didn't want her body to be compromised. Mm-hmm. And so she was happy to oblige him, provided she didn't actually have to get pregnant. And that, in a way, they did love each other, you know, because they were sort of giving each other what the other was wanting.
Mm-hmm. And then, you know, in the last shot of the film, Francesca is pregnant.
Yeah, but not with Scott's baby.
Right.
And that's a whole different beast, right? Mm-hmm. Like, that is... you know, I don't think that while she appears cold and calculating, and she is, I think that's just not something she was expecting. You know, it's more that because it's the last shot of the film, I didn't really have to delve into the humanity of her response to that.
Mm-hmm. What was it like to work with the cast, like Scott Wilson and Juliette Lewis and Taye Diggs?
Marvelous. You know, Juliette and I have worked together since then. She did a TV show called The Firm, and we got to see each other again, which was lovely. And Taye, of course, we also worked together again on his TV series called, what's that one he did? Oh, my God, I'm so sorry that I'm not remembering now because I know it. He did that lawyer show, remember?
Kevin Hill?
That's it, yeah. So we worked together again on that. And, you know, they're amazing powerhouse actors. And by that I mean they're good people who are extremely talented. I mean, if I could see... Taye do Hedwig, you know, I contemplated just flying out to see it because she's just so talented. And this business requires a lot of things of you. You know, it requires you to be an artist in order to be able to deliver, but it also requires you to understand the commercial value of, understand and recognize projects that are of commercial value and how you can become a commercial value. You are a commodity. And I feel that, that these people have been able to do that without sacrificing their strength. So they eventually come back round to how strong they are. Mm-hmm. I don't know know if that makes sense, but that can be a very painful process. But I think all of the people on that film have managed to stay true to what their strengths are while endeavoring to court the business in the ways that it can ask of you, especially if you're going to be a big superstar, you know. And so I always watch with intrigue and with respect and admiration at how several members of the cast have managed to do that.
Do you have, you mentioned that you also got to watch the scenes that Francesca's not in.
Yeah.
Do you have any sort of, was there any scene that you got to watch that you really enjoyed watching it get made?
Yeah, I loved the shootout in the brothel. I saw a lot of the movie, and I particularly loved the end sequence where, you know, they're in the brothel and they know that it's like that very typical Western shootout where they're trapped. And I think we've got the brothel owner who says, "I can't have pregnant women running around," you know, like it was that stuff was all great, you know, where Ryan and Benicio's characters know that they're not going to make it out, you know? and also Dylan having to deliver the baby by a C-section, you know, all that the stakes of that were so high, and that was a set way out in the middle of the desert in Utah. That was, you know, a drive away, but I used to love driving out there. You had to drive past the salt flats to get there, and I just felt it was I just felt lucky, you know, to be part of the filmmaking. And anything that involved that town, I loved it.
I mean, it's a really interesting set piece to work around.
Yeah, it was great. They were just dynamite people. I just loved it. I you know, in the idealism of I was pinching myself all the time. And I still do, that I've maintained strong friendships with people whose work I admire and that has at various times influenced our collective cultural storytelling in the way that people can be influenced by that. I felt really lucky. It was a real high point for me.
Do you have any other particularly memorable stories from your time on set for Way of the Gun?
Yeah, forging my friendship with Dylan. Obviously, I loved working with Tay. Scotty Conn, watching the scenes with Scotty Conn were great. You know, when he slams his son up against the wall, the pathos that I felt when Scotty slams Dylan up against the wall. The twist. I loved Scott's wife, Heather, was on set and did a lot of the wardrobe. I loved working with her. Chris's brother, Kevin, was also there. So it was a real family affair, that movie. And I loved getting to spend time with him. He's since passed away, but he was just a marvelous soul. And my offset time was really great with Ken. I remember doing the Utah. they have the Olympic training luge there, and Ken Koken and I doing the luge. And I remember thinking, like, I don't think I'm supposed to be doing this. I think this is an insurance hazard. I don't think I'm supposed to be luging with the producer of the film. But it was just great. They were just such fine, talented people. Every moment was an experience, actually. Getting to experience Utah, which is, you know, a tremendous experience unto itself. The focus puller was Bobby Brady, played Bobby Brady in the Brady Bunch. I remember staring at him and going like, "Oh my God, you must get this all the time, but you look exactly like the guy who played Bobby Brady," and it turns out it was him. Just all these really crazy, strange, waking dream kind of experiences. They were great.
And what did you think of the finished product as a whole?
I loved it. I was proud of it, and I loved it. And again, I don't know that I was mature enough as an artist to understand how Chris might feel about it. But, you know, it was independent filmmaking, really independent filmmaking. So, you know, there's time constraints, and you can't always deliver it exactly the way you imagined it. And I know that I can't speak for other people, but I know that that project held a lot of hopes and dreams for a lot of people. And I don't know that it provided it for everybody, but I was really pleased to be part of the nature of it being made and that point in time.
And are you working on anything else right now that you'd like to talk about?
Well, you know, I'm going into the fourth season of Canada's #1 hit primetime drama called Motive. We were on ABC for a couple of seasons. They bought us as a commodity coming out of Canada. And I'm really proud of that. I had a little boy 7 years ago, and I took time away from the business. And I'm Canadian, and I had a wonderful and lovely creative life in Los Angeles, which I will, I'm sure, return to. But when I had my little boy, I wanted to have him on Canadian soil, and I was really lucky to have stepped into The Killing, and then right after that, a show that's shot in Canada for Canada, for the Canadian Television Network, and it's called Motive. We're in our 4th season. I direct our first episode back, and I'm really excited. I'm one of the producers on the show, and I'll be directing my first episode of network television, and I feel proud of that. And I'm still in heartfelt communication and Chris. And I really hope that, as a journeyman actress, I'm just gathering more and more experiences under my belt in terms of this thing that we do. I'm kind of a lifer when it comes down to it. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now. And always looking forward to developing new projects. But film and TV is where my heart is. And I'm always trying to learn and grow as the industry evolves and see where my strengths lie, and always wondering if what I have to offer has a place,
Mm-hmm. You mentioned that you're directing an episode of Motive.
I am.
What is that like to go from actress to director? What's the transition like?
Well, I star in this series, so I will have to tell you what the transition's like once it's happened. It's pretty actor heavy, this show, for me. So that is going to be a unique challenge, being able to switch back and forth between what is a very internal process and the way that I understand storytelling, even directing and relating with the camera from the inside of a script, is a very different thing than an outside. And Dylan actually expressed it really well to me when I told him I was nervous, and he said, well, you're really there to be of service to the story. And I think if that's the way I approach it, then it won't really matter whether I'm telling the story from the inside or the outside. And that's what I keep sort of telling myself. I keep using his words.
Move on to The Good, the Bad, and the Weird. Came out in 2008, directed by Kim Jee-woon. Stars Song Kang-ho, Lee Byung-hun, and Jung Woo-sung. It is directly inspired, obviously the title, if you can't figure that out, by Sergio Leone's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And it follows the Weird, played by Song Kang-ho, the Bad, played by Lee Byung-hun, and the Good, played by Jung Woo-sung, as they travel across the landscape of Manchuria, which is China, northern China. And they're trying to find the treasure that is on this treasure map.
And avoid the occupying Japanese military.
Right. Sean, what did you think of the movie?
I really liked this movie. I liked it so much that I watched the first 20 minutes in Korean and didn't realize that there were no subtitles. But I was like, ooh, this is cool. Maybe they'll just start speaking English later. But then I realized that I had rented the wrong version and I had to start over with the subtitles. But it was good. I thought it was really fun. This is the sort of movie I wish my dad had showed me when I was little, because he would try to show me like his kung fu movies and his like Hong Kong movies. And this to me is very much a westernized kung fu movie. It felt like to me. The thing with comedy especially is that it never translates cross-culturally, or it rarely does. And the fact that this felt like such an Americanized movie, that was fun for me. I just was able to relate to that. It was really easy to understand.
What about you, John?
Relatively speaking.
I really like this movie. I bought it a while ago, I think pretty close after it came out. I bought it to just check it out because of the name, and I assumed it was going to be very Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Very similar to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And I really enjoy it. I enjoy the camera movement, which there is just a shitload of. At one point, the camera tracks along with a moving train and then goes in through a window and then follows the character down to the back of the train and then sort of, I guess, trucks, dollies, I don't know which one when it's vertical, up over the character to look into the car. I don't know. I just think the cinematic aspects of The Good, the Bad, and the Weird are really awesome and really entertaining.
Yeah, I like this movie a lot. I hadn't heard much about it going into it. I knew that it was a play on The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly film, more or less. Not a play on it, but it's directly inspired by it, even down to the three characters being, the good, the bad, and the weird. It's, like Sean said, it is the most American Korean film I've ever seen. And I've seen a fair amount of Korean films. The Host.
Snowpiercer.
Yeah, The Host. Well, yeah, but Snowpiercer is an American film made by a Korean director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's made in Korea.
Yeah, but come on. The lead actor is Chris Evans.
Yeah, but
come on.
It's still a Korean movie, man.
I guess.
So that's Korean stylistic choices.
Yeah.
That was a huge, I remember that being a big deal because that was like, the way they produced it was like, sort of the way, it's like a big deal because it was an American company and a Korean company, I think, that came together and they knew that they would, it was a marketing strategy so that they could get both markets extremely saturated with it. Cause like they really wanted both the East and the West markets.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all really strategized that way. So I guess it's sort of a hybrid. I don't know, but that's how I looked at it.
But I mean, this movie is really good, even though it is in a very Americanized Korean film.
Yeah.
But I still think it manages to keep. I mean, it totally keeps the Korean feel to it.
Oh yeah, no,
absolutely.
But I mean, a lot of the themes that it's kind of talking about were straight out of the Sergio Leone Western film, which was inspired by American-made Western films.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't deny the American influence.
No, yeah, of course not.
It's like American influence through the lens of an Italian director, which is then through the lens of a Korean director. So it's like a spaghetti.
I think the
kimchi
director
Western?
calls it kimchi Western. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's cool. I like that.
And I wish that there were more movies like it.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this movie came out 7 years ago. We haven't seen another Korean Western since, but that doesn't mean that it'll never come out. It's really good.
I gotta say, I was super impressed with the fact that it was a comedy and that it translated so well. Because that's like one of the hardest things to do. And when I read the synopsis, I knew it was going to be sort of light, but it definitely, I wouldn't call it a comedy first. But the comedy that does exist in there, it's not campy, which is what I sort of expect. Sort of like a Stephen Chow movie is what I kind of thought, you know?
Right.
Stereotypically, because I haven't seen a lot. But the humor was very realistic. It was very real, and I would say it's anything but campy. I didn't think it was campy at all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I mean, to be fair, you know, Kim Jee-woon is not known for directing comedic films.
Right.
Kim Jee-woon, I mean, he made I Saw the Devil.
Yes, so good.
Which is fantastic, which I went and watched because of this movie.
Oh.
And
A Tale of Two Sisters.
And The Foul King, which I guess is a comedy drama, but he also directed The Last Stand, which is, it's okay. It's Schwarzenegger's first movie back after being governor.
I kind of like that.
It's not terrible. It's not great. It's just kind of, Schwarzenegger getting back into being Schwarzenegger.
Right.
Yeah.
It's his warm-up movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, he's not a comedic director, but I agree with you, Sean. The film has a fair amount of comedy to it, but it is not a comedic film overall.
No.
No way.
But I mean, it's about as comedic as The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is.
Yeah.
Because The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly has a fair amount of comedy in it too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. In The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, at no point does Tuco put on a diving helmet and use it as a bulletproof shield, but
That's true.
God, I love that guy.
I mean, Song Kang-ho is fantastic. I mean, he was really good in The Host as the main character
and in Snowpiercer.
See, I don't even remember who he was in Snowpiercer.
He's the Korean guy in Snowpiercer. The guy they wake up. He's the hacker that they wake up from the cryo sleep.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he was good in The Host and good in this movie, and if there were more Korean movies out there with English subtitles, I'd go watch them. Unfortunately, a lot of Korean films don't have English subtitles.
You need to watch The Thirst. He's in that. That's really good.
The Thirst?
Yeah, it's like this this modern vampire movie. It's really good. I think it's on Netflix.
It's just, sitting down to watch foreign films sometimes is a shot in the dark because sometimes the subtitles aren't that great. Right. If it's dubbed in English, that's even worse sometimes.
Yeah, it totally is.
I mean, Jesus, if you've ever watched some movies that were dubbed in English, man, oh God, that's really distracting.
Yeah. It ends up looking like Kung Pao, but seriously.
Yeah, it doesn't turn out great. So, I mean, there was no version of The Good, the Bad, and the Weird with English dub, thankfully. Mm-hmm. It was all subtitles. But But I'm curious, Sean, was your ending the Korean ending or was your ending the international ending?
I just saw that there were two endings. The one that, I don't know. I guess it would probably be the international ending.
What happened in yours?
There was a shootout, and then it looked like, the good, what's his name? Lee Byung.
Park Do-won.
Yeah. It looks like he kind of had like a little appearance at the end, so like he lived or something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
so did
what
the
I
Weird.
remember. I don't remember seeing the Weird, but I might have missed it. You know what I mean?
Was the scene the one where they're like posting up wanted signs?
Yes. Oh no, he did win. Yeah, he was alive because they were looking for him still.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
So that's the international version.
Okay, so that's what I thought.
Right, which is the one that the director apparently wanted initially.
I see.
Yeah. No, the one I watched has a callback to A Fistful of Dollars with Young Tae-gu, Song Kang-ho's character, the Weird, taking a metal plate out from under his jacket, which blocked the bullet, and then he tries to blow up the bad's body, and like the Japanese army show up, but he's already lit dynamite, and he scares him off, finds some diamonds in his pocket, and then it shows that original ending where the good is still chasing after the Weird.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
I like that more than the one you guys are talking about because it has a direct callback to the original Man with No Name trilogy.
That's cool. That sounds cool because the one I saw, I thought he pulled out. I totally didn't understand this at the time, but he pulled out like that paper. What was that paper that he pulled out that had a hole in it and like floats? Okay, that's the map, right? That's what I thought. But then I thought he died because I thought that the map wasn't going to stop it from killing him.
What I got from it when I watched it was that they were all really fucked up, but the good and the weird happened to survive it.
Yeah.
Just happened to survive it being
right, because it gets to the point where the weird is just like lying on the ground, and the good is just shooting the bad over and over again.
Yeah.
Because that final shootout is just so many bullets.
Yeah, into the arms and
It's like that scene in Platoon, but with 3 people at once.
Oh.
And that's what I like about the movie is it is a play on the original Sergio Leone film, but it does do a lot of its own stuff.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at its core, it really is the same plot. 3 separate guys are going to the same place for differing reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, technically, the good is chasing after the weird and the bad.
Right.
He's not actually going there for the treasure.
Right.
Which is one of the things that makes it different from the original film.
And the whole thing with the finger chopper is different as well.
Yeah. I mean, I also like all the performances in this film.
Yeah.
They're all really, really well done.
And I agree with you, but I do have to point out that since it's in Korean, I'm not sure, as someone who doesn't speak Korean, I don't know if any of them have like, weird voice things like you guys thought Ryan Phillippe had the way of the God. Because I don't know what Korean sounds like. I can't differentiate the words. So I don't know if any of the performances, if a Korean watching this movie would be like, oh, that was not great,
Yeah. Well, that's sort of what I was talking about with culture being so a part of why a film doesn't succeed across seas or overseas. But I think that's one of the reasons why I could say that I feel like they were really great because I watched the first 20 minutes without any subtitles and I could get an idea. You know what I mean? I did really love, especially I loved Yoon Tae-gu so much. And then I looked up they're like the main 3 actors are like they're also very Americanized too. They understand that sort of style.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. There is. I gotta say.
Lee Byung-hun has gone on to have a fairly prolific American film career.
Exactly.
G.I. Joe notwithstanding, and Terminator Genesis notwithstanding.
They're all. The Lee Byung-hun is the only one that's been in sort of American movies. But they're all. Both the other 2 are both pretty big in Korea. If you watch Korean cinema that gets over to the States, one of them is usually in it.
Like The Host, which is Song Kang-ho is in.
I don't know if I've ever seen a Korean movie that one of these 3 guys wasn't in.
Really?
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
If not 2 of them. Because there's, I want to say The Man from Nowhere has 2 of them in it.
And I Saw the Devil has Lee Byung-hun in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming, I don't know any, dyed-in-the-wool Koreans. I mean, I have a friend who lives in Korea, and I meant to ask him kind of what these three are analogous to for our actors in America.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a chance to ask him, but I'm assuming that these three are the big three actors.
Yeah, they seem to be. I mean,
at least for now, for this generation of,
exactly.
of actors.
Especially considering that The Good and the Bad and the Weird was the most expensive Korean movie ever made to date.
That's right.
Well, up to 2009 when it got finished.
Right.
It had a budget of $10 million, which is sort of hilarious considering that was the most expensive Korean movie in 2009.
Damn.
And Hollywood's pumping out like $35 million fucking.
Oh yeah, like hundreds of millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. And I like Good, the Bad, and the Weird more than I like a lot of Hollywood.
Yeah, I know. It's so true.
Well, I mean, Jurassic World, the movie we talked with last time Sean was on, had a budget of $150 million.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ. And look at this movie. Look how much this movie does with a budget of $10 million.
Exactly.
So
I love it.
And having been to Korea myself and seeing that the movie culture over there is big, because they had a bunch of movie theaters and, movie stars, to me, it feels very much like that is a thing that matters to them, the movies, because some cultures don't care, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that seemed to me very important, along with music. So it's not surprising that movie, the movie was so expensive, but it is impressive how much they did with the money that they were given.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there are a fair amount of set pieces in this movie that are pretty, impressive, like the train scene at the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
Ghost Market.
Yeah, that's right. That was cool. I like that.
Super cluttered and awesome.
Yeah.
Again, I just feel like, and this is kind of my sentiment towards a lot of foreign film, is that a lot of people just won't watch it because it's a foreign movie and they have to read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've known people that straight up, like, I've been like, hey, you want to watch this movie? It has subtitles. Nah, fuck that.
Well, and like we were saying about Way of the Gun, where you have to sit and devote your attention to it.
Yeah.
You have to sit and devote your attention to this movie for a completely different reason.
Right, exactly.
You can't have this movie on in the background.
Unless you're listening to the awesome fucking soundtrack.
Yeah, but what I mean is if you've never seen this movie before and you want to watch it for the first time, you cannot just sit and have it on in the background.
No,
right.
You have to,
unless you speak Korean.
Right.
Right.
But still, you have to watch. You have to watch it.
Right, because you have to read the subtitles.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a hard sell.
Yeah, for the casual moviegoer.
Yeah.
But luckily for this movie, there is such a tone that you get that is so familiar, and you almost forget that it's not in. Sometimes there's some scenes, and like kind of like in the Way of the Gun, there's not a whole lot of dialogue. Like it's not so intense that that you're reading books. It's really, there's a lot of awesome action scenes in this movie that it keeps your interest enough, and that it does feel it is catered to an American audience for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you've never seen a Korean film before, I would say that this is a pretty easy Korean film to watch as your first one.
I agree.
Because, I mean, The Host was, I think, the second film I'd ever seen, and it was a little hard to watch for me.
Oh, it's an awesome monster movie.
It's awesome, but I think you and I can agree, John, it's a little on the slower side than what most American audiences are used to.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of the Korean movies that I've seen have that as sort of same.
Yeah, I would say that too.
Value.
Ooh, but they can get that violence really well.
Ooh, they are super good at really fucked up violence.
Yeah, that payoff is well worth it. Oh, it's pretty cool stuff.
But, I mean, like we said, most Korean films are made for Korean audiences. They don't take into account the American audience. Nor should they have to, really. But I think that this movie really does cross that line where it is more appealing to American audiences.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is why that's one of the reasons that I think this movie was so successful internationally.
Yeah. I mean, I know that Korean pop culture specifically is very much influenced by American pop culture, and they also influence each other. But I remember I just watched a documentary recently where they're like, at least there are niches in their markets that are very, very much that love American culture and pop culture. So it makes sense.
I am not super well versed in a lot of foreign film, But Korean film is some of my favorite, along with Bollywood, and I know that John is not a huge fan of Bollywood.
I don't dislike Bollywood.
But Bollywood is really not for American audiences.
No, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, each film is at least 3 hours long.
Wow.
And there are 5 to 6 musical numbers at least.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite Bollywood movie, and if any of you are fans of Bollywood, you're probably going to roast me alive. It's called Enthuran, otherwise known as Robo. And it is a mashup of Bicentennial Man, The Terminator, The Matrix, and I, Robot with music. It is also almost 3 hours long. It's fucking insane. I watched it on the plane. I watched it on the plane to India. Fell asleep halfway through it. Watched it on the plane back. Fell asleep for the first half. Watched the second half of the movie.
Nice.
I mean, it's a 3 hour long movie with. I mean, 7 or 8 music numbers at least. And each musical number is like 5-6 minutes long.
Wow.
So it's fucking nuts. And that's why I love it. It's because it is so made for one culture that when you're an outsider looking at it, you don't get it.
Yeah.
You're like, this is not for us. But Korean cinema, I think, is very approachable for Western audiences.
Yeah, I would agree. I would think, especially a little more than that.
Yeah. But if you're looking for a good Bollywood movie to watch, it's probably not one of them. I know that some of my friends who are Indian that are into Bollywood movies have told me that Enthuran is shit. So, even though it's like the highest grossing movie of all time over there, I want to say. So, but I mean, Korean cinema, I think we're just beginning to see how great Korean cinema is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just going to keep getting better.
Because it's only been in the last couple years, really, that I've even started hearing about Korean movies. And
Yeah.
And to be fair, that started with Old Boy.
Right.
Oh, yes.
Right? I mean, Old Boy is kind of the Korean film for a lot of American audiences that opened the door.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For American audiences. I mean, hell, they even remade it horribly.
Yeah.
I didn't see the remake, but I know that it wasn't going to be very good. So, right? I mean, I don't know. Did you guys see the remake?
You can't make assumptions until you've seen the movie, man.
I mean, come on. Old Boy is practically a perfect revenge film.
I know.
How can they remake it and do anything different than what they've already done?
English, man.
Yeah, but I want to say that there is a version of Old Boy that's dubbed.
I think there is.
Yeah. So
I'm just being a dick.
you're just being Yashar. You are literally just being Yashar. You know what? I think that reasoning works only if it's not a American remake of a foreign film.
Oh, I see.
Right? I mean, like, the original Ring movie, Japanese horror, that movie's awesome.
Yeah.
The American version is not so great if you've seen the original.
Yeah.
And it was literally only remade so that it was in English.
Exactly. So that it can play to the American audience.
So, and they don't, I mean, you know, they can't really remake The Good, the Bad, and the Weird for American audiences.
Yeah, I don't see that.
The Good, the Bad, and the Weird, which is a spin-off of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So,
yeah, right.
I really like this movie. I think that more people should watch this movie if they can get past the fact that it's subtitled.
Yeah,
You know what's interesting? Korea, the Korean cinema, remade Unforgiven.
That's not surprising.
But it's interesting because we were just talking about American remakes of Korean and other sort of foreign films.
Right.
And I haven't seen it, but I keep meaning to watch it because I want to see how they do it.
And what's it called?
Unforgiven.
Is it a Western?
I think so. I mean, I think it's literally a remake of it.
Like the same exact movie.
I mean, I doubt it's shot for shot or anything, but
I mean, you know, it's got, who does it have in it?
let's see.
It's got Ken Watanabe in it.
Yeah, it came out in 2013. It's called Unforgiven, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce.
Yuru Zaru Mono? But that's Japanese, that's not Korean.
Well, he's a Japanese-Korean filmmaker.
Gotcha.
So I don't know if he filmed it in Japan or if he filmed it in Korea, but
I mean, again, you know, it really is kind of the way you want to look at it, right? I mean, I've never been convinced that a lot of the American remakes of foreign films are great. And a lot of them haven't been.
Well,
No,
a lot of American films aren't great.
Well,
Right.
a lot of foreign films aren't great either.
That's true.
I mean, look at Let the Right One In.
Yeah, that was so sad.
Right? I mean, I know you being a huge fan of horror, Sean, like that movie was pretty bad.
Yeah, the American remake.
Yeah.
Let Me In, which was so. Why don't you just name it Let the Right One In? Anyway.
Well, that in and of itself is just
Right.
It's completely disappointing.
Yeah, it was disappointing.
I feel like for the most part, with some exceptions, they're all diminishing returns.
Yeah.
Except, like Infernal Affairs, which is what The Departed is based off of. The Departed's a pretty good movie.
I have not seen The Departed.
Thanks, John.
I mean,
it's good. It's not great. It's not Scorsese's best, and it definitely wasn't the movie he should have won an Oscar for.
Right. My opinion of Departed is that they ran out of time and realized they hadn't written an ending yet, and so they just shot everybody in the head.
Well, that's the original ending from the original movie.
Right, and I'm not saying that wasn't intentional. I'm just saying the ending felt rushed to me when I watched it, and so I was like, oh, that's cool, people getting shot in the head, but also I don't care.
Having watched both movies, what it felt like to me was it is not an American ending for a film.
Well, no, that's why everybody sort of sucked its dick when it came out. It's because it literally did just like one after the other headshots.
And that's not American. That's not a very American way to end a film.
Right, and everybody saw The Departed and was like, oh my god, that was amazing, because they had seen an ending like that in American cinema.
Right. Even though the ending in Infernal Affairs is pretty much the same one in The Departed. So, I really am curious and excited for when we eventually do our foreign movie month. But I feel like that is a wide-reaching pool of movies.
Mm-hmm.
To talk about, because we could just do a Korean film month. Good lord,
Yeah.
right?
Ooh.
I mean, you've got films all the way to The Seventh Seal by Ingrid Bergman. You've got Korean. You've got Bollywood. You've got German film.
Oh, yeah. You could tour the country or the world.
Yeah, and still not even scratch the surface.
No.
But getting back to the good, the bad, and the weird, I really like this movie. But wouldn't say that that's very surprising.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I haven't seen a Korean film that I haven't liked yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yet.
Right.
There is a Korean film I want to watch. I want to say it's called Mr. 3000. They were showing previews for it when I was in Korea a couple years ago, and it is a gorilla that plays baseball. It is a CGI gorilla that plays baseball.
Oh my god, amazing.
And the gorilla has like a giant baseball bat, and it's like it is like Air Bud and all those other movies, but insane.
That sounds great.
If you're curious to see what I'm talking about, just Google Korean gorilla film. Korean gorilla baseball. 3 words, Korean gorilla baseball, and it should come up. But Korean film, I mean, it's really great, and I really like this movie.
Yeah, I thought the action sequences were just so fun for me. This is from someone who doesn't watch a lot of action movies. And the tension's built so well. The violence is so terribly gross. I love it.
And Kim Jee-woon really has an eye for shooting action as well, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's more Western than The Way of the Gun, so it kind of redeemed my movie watching yesterday. Well, I mean, to be fair, again, going back to kind of this, is it a Western, isn't it a Western? I do enjoy genre bending. I do. But at the same time, I also like taking comfort in knowing that this movie is a Western.
Yeah, true.
It is very much a Western.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question as to it being a Western.
Yeah. I think if it were any question with it already being foreign, it would just not have worked for American.
Yeah.
You can't, that aspect has to be simple for us.
Yeah. So, Sean,
yes.
Skip it, watch it, best performance.
Definitely watch it. And I gotta say, after watching, Lee Byung-hun in, I Saw the Devil, I thought it was so cool to see him play this terrifying, he's such a great villain in this movie. And I love the weird metro hair. I thought that character was awesome. So I gotta say he's my favorite performance.
His character really doesn't fit with the rest of the movie.
No, not at all.
But that's the cool thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And I like how his character totally has that, like, code, and the sort of Western cowboy code thing that he's, fight to the end, justice, all that kind of stuff, but you don't even really see it. Again, this is another movie where I've seen it multiple times, and so rewatching it this weekend, I picked up on a few things, like Park Do-won, the good, he regularly says, our country is stolen from us and all that stuff because of the Japanese occupation.
Yeah.
And that's not really a sentiment you expect the bad to share, but when he kills that rich guy that hires him initially, he says you're done selling out your country.
Well, let's be fair here. Koreans don't like Japanese, period.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I'm saying character-wise,
it's
interesting. Because, it's not like they're just putting that in there because they don't like Japanese people, because the weird doesn't give a shit at all about that.
Well, he just kills them.
Yeah.
Right, but not because they're Japanese.
Right.
Because they're in his way.
It's true.
Or because they're trying to kill him.
Yeah. So he blows them up with dynamite.
Right, and it's just interesting to see, and knowing the sort of twist of the movie, it's also interesting to watch the other characters talk about the bad as a bad guy that's I'm only, like when I watched this movie with a friend, and as I was watching it, he was like, man, that guy has a really fragile ego. Because he thought he just wanted the weird dead because everybody kept saying, oh, well, I heard he was really badass and he was the best. And my friend read that as the bad can't stand not being the best. And then it turns out that there's another motivation to it. And so watching it again, you sort of pick up on the little hints that there is other motivation.
Yeah.
That it's not just the bad being a fucking dick.
Well, and that whole kind of twist, I don't know if you kind of made that connection, John and Sean, but that twist, that the finger chopper thing is almost reminiscent of Once Upon a Time in the West. A little bit, right?
Right.
That's totally what they're drawing from. Right? I mean, that's
a
cool.
vengeance thing. I don't know if...
I mean, it's not you killed my brother, but it's like you wronged me in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah.
That isn't revealed until, towards the end of the film.
The last few minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was cool. He was just such a badass. And, I just liked, there's a moment where they're on the train and he's shooting out the window and he doesn't know that, that the good is there. Park. And he shoots at him and, he just gives him, this bitchy look. It's just so great. And, I'm like, yes, flip that hair. I love it. It was so good. I loved it.
Well, and another thing I really like about this movie is that all three characters are very different stylistically.
Yeah, definitely.
In the original film, Eli Wallach, Clint Eastwood, and Lee Van Cleef kind of look the same, more or less. I mean, Eli Wallach has kind of got this more of a Latino desperado thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then Clint Eastwood is whatever, Clint Eastwood. And then Lee Van Cleef is kind of more sleek bounty hunter.
Uh-huh.
So I think in this movie they really kind of amp up the stylistic choices.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is great, which is another thing that this movie does really well.
Yeah.
Is it takes into account what has already been done and does it tenfold.
Exactly. It makes it easier to understand, honestly.
Yeah.
It's I know exactly who these guys are immediately.
Yeah.
Right.
John, what about you? Skip it, watch it, best performance.
Definitely watch it. I really like this movie. And if you are not experienced in Korean cinema and you watch this and you like it, you should check out their other movies too, because that whole country makes great shit.
Yep.
Yeah. Especially, Kim Jee-woon, again, I Saw the Devil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh.
Yeah.
Best performance, I'm going to go with Song Kang-ho, the weird, just because, he's both a badass and completely inept.
He's funny as shit. I love him.
Yeah.
Right. And he's definitely the Tuco of this movie.
Well, that's who his character is set up as.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why, like we talked about when we did The Man with No Name, Tuco's probably one of my favorite fictional characters of all time. And so it's sort of obvious that I'm going to pick the character that's Tuco's stand-in.
Yeah. We just don't get the bastard son of 1,000 fathers just like you old bastards.
Yeah. And it's, I think he brings a lot of the comedy to it too. The bad has some parts that are a little funny, and the good has some things that are a little funny, but, Song Kang-ho does almost all the humor.
Yeah.
The scene where the good throws his guns down to him as he's being choked, but the good's not looking, and so he just like throws them outside of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, his character is probably my favorite, and his performance is probably my favorite too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he really makes the film for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Just like Eli Wallach did in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I'm going to say watch it, but with one caveat. If you can't sit and give your attention to a movie and read the subtitles, then don't even try to.
Right.
There's no point. Kind of like with The Way of the Gun, if you're not willing to sit down and actually give the movie your full attention, this is not a movie you're going to be able to sit down and watch.
Right.
Because it requires you to sit and read. There's no English dub. And, unfortunately, that's just kind of the way it goes.
Yeah, don't watch either of these movies if you're going to be messing around on your phone more time than you're going to be looking up at the television.
Yeah, you could probably get away with it a little bit more in The Way of the Gun.
Mm-hmm.
But this movie, unfortunately, no English dub, so
yeah,
there you go. Fortunately,
but
unfortunately, I don't know.
That being said, I think it's a really easy one, especially for foreign films and having to read subtitles. It's such an easy one to do for this movie. It's not overwhelming for this one.
No, there's not blocks of text.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's plenty of stuff to keep you into it, I think.
Yeah.
Also, if you are just looking for, like, epic music to listen to, because, again, the soundtrack for The Good, the Bad, and the Weird is great.
Yeah.
I will probably look into buying it as soon as I have money.
VOD, John.
Right.
VOD. Come on. Go with the times, man.
Go with the times.
I know we normally don't double up on movies, but Song Kang-ho has to be my pick for favorite performance. Because he really just, he is 1/3 of the main cast, but for me, he is 100% the most entertaining part of the film.
Yeah, he's the reason I would go see this movie.
Yeah. And again, having seen him recently in The Host, he was the character I was most excited to see anyways.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to be fair, Lee Byung-hun, I hadn't seen him in anything prior to this. After I watched this, I Saw the Devil.
Oh, see, I had just seen that movie. And
yeah,
I was, like,
so my previous exposure to Lee Byung-hun was Storm Shadow and G.I. Joe. Which, let's be honest, is not the best use of his acting ability.
Correct.
I mean, that's one thing that, again, about American cinema that is really irks me, is they take these extremely talented foreign actors.
Yeah.
And then put them in shit movies?
Well, yes, but at the same time, those actors are also agreeing to be in the movie.
That's true.
Right? So it's not just, Americans, stupid. We put them in our fucking G.I. Joe movies. However, my issue is we're not offering these actors parts that are worthy of their acting talents.
Yeah.
Because I Saw the Devil is a really great movie, and Lee Byung-hun is awesome in that movie.
Yeah, he is.
But you wouldn't know that he's a good actor from G.I. Joe, where he's essentially a glorified stunt double.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So.
It's too bad. It's so bad.
Yeah, it's just the way it goes here in the States, I guess.
It's true.
Yeah. So,
what does the tomato say?
The tomato says for this movie, what do you think it says? I'm curious what you think.
I would probably... Oh,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I would probably personally give it probably in the 90s somewhere, but I think Rotten Tomatoes probably has it closer to an 80.
Yeah, I was going to guess that Rotten Tomatoes would say like a higher 70s.
So what number? Put a number on it.
Let's say 78.
I'll say 82.
84% certified fresh.
Ooh.
It's close, John.
Nice. I'm glad.
Whilst never taking itself too seriously, this riotous and rollicking Sergio Leone-inspired Korean Western is serious fun.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think it deserves a few more points, but that's fine.
Not that The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly really takes itself very seriously.
Well, every now and then it does.
Yeah, but it's not trying to come up with these philosophical quandaries.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
The Way of the Gun takes itself seriously.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Audience score 83%. Okay. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think that's the closest I've seen audience and tomato meter so far, within 1% of one another.
Yeah.
So next weekend we're going to be wrapping up Western Month, much to John's dismay. Mike White from the projection booth is going to be joining us. We're going to be talking about El Topo, Alejandro Jodorowsky's surrealist Western film. I've never seen it. It was, I think, one of the few movies that I picked.
Yeah, you picked it because you heard it was surrealist.
Yeah, which means it's either going to be really good or we're going to be sitting talking about how we have no idea what
was happening.
Yeah. And The Proposition, which is Australian.
Right, and I got to talk to Robert Morgan for that one.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I'm assuming it's good. It's a Western, right?
Yeah.
It's a legit Western.
It's
an Australian Western. It's literally they're in Australia being cowboys and outlaws and shit.
Cool.
So it's kind of great.
I like it.
Okay. As long as it's like a legit Western.
Right.
This month has made me like legit Westerns.
Yeah.
Sean, is there anything you want to plug before we wrap this up?
Well, I am such a hardworking actor. I just gotta say to survive.
Hey man, to be fair, you gotta keep plugging what you've done. You can't just be
That's
like,
right.
You've already seen it. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. Well, if you haven't seen it, go see To Survive. It's actually, I think this is what I hear. I think that it's moving to Hulu and Netflix next month, so it should be a lot more accessible. So that would be awesome. Yeah. So keep an eye out.
Suggested for Stream Police.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right? I mean, we watched it here. That's how we got connected up with Sean. We really liked it, a lot. So if our opinions mean anything to you, check it out.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm actually, I've been producing a lot lately, and I just got onto a movie I'm co-producing that's called WTF, World Thumb Wrestling Federation. And that's, so we start shooting next month, and we've got, we just attached John Hennigan from WWE's Johnny Nitro. So that's exciting. And other than that, I'm producing Speed Dater. So, but you'll probably see WTF out sooner than that. Other than that, just follow me on Twitter, Seanifer.
Wait. So you attached John Morrison?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm excited about this guy.
Well, I mean, I watch wrestling, so.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah. So you know who he is better than I do.
Yeah. I was like, I'm pretty sure he's talking about John Morrison, but I'm not.
Yeah. That's his WWE name, or his professional name, rather.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's exciting. I'm excited. We start shooting next month.
And you're producing that, right?
Yes. Yeah. This will be fun.
Yeah.
I like the idea of a federation for thumb wrestling.
Yeah. I thought it's an absurd comedy. Obviously, it's really fun. I'm excited to work on it.
Is it live action?
Yeah, live action.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm excited. We got a ring and everything.
Oh my god.
Yeah, right.
Sounds great. Sounds like it'll be right up our alley.
I'll let you know.
John, what about you?
We got Chronicles from the Crypt. We got other Kulturecasts. My Twitter is John Lein 1, and
friend him on Facebook.
No, again, don't do that.
Do it.
Don't.
John needs more. John needs more friends that play Candy Crush Saga.
I have enough friends. Don't do it.
Play Candy Crush Saga and Dead Pirates of the High Seas and Game of War. Yeah.
Whatever that farm thing was.
Farmville.
That's it.
Best game ever made, dude. I loved growing all that patty pan squash. What you talking about?
But yeah, that's it.
You can follow me on Twitter at HeelStash. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at CultureShocked. Like John said, we got a lot of stuff every week that we put out. So cultureshock.com, that's where you want to check it out. Next weekend, like we said, El Topo and The Proposition. And yeah, make sure to check those out.